finger.
There's one meeting.
You did?
She regressed. Good to go. Good. Good evening and welcome to the City Council special meeting of Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Two items on the agenda. The first of these is discussion regarding the exchange of a portion of land in Woods Lawn Park near Adams Elementary School and a portion of land in the 12th Avenue Recreation Center property for a connecting piece of land to Northeast Lions Park at Eisenhower Elementary School. Jason.
Perfect, and you did a great job describing that. That's exactly what I'm going to talk about. So, you see a picture here. I always like to start out with a picture. This is Lions Park, kind of overlooking the pond out there, and our disc golf course. And it's kind of what we're all this conversation surrounding. Northeast Lions. It's their turn to get a playground through the Norman Ford initiative, and so we just internally started discussing alternatives because right now the playground's at a very poor location, low visibility, and it's highly vandalized. So the idea came up with possibly exchanging some land and connecting High Meadows Park to Lions Northeast and combining those into one park. And there was only one pesky problem to it, that we didn't necessarily own all the land there at High Meadows. So exactly what we're talking about. So the pieces of property will be the property that Norman Public Schools owns is High Meadows Park. It's like the north end of it. We own the south end of it. And the parks properties, which we'll be talking about, would be the east half of 12th Avenue Rec Center, the back lot, and a small little section of Woodlawn Park. So first of all, we're going to start out there with Northeast Lions, and you can kind of, whoops, man, you can tell I am not an expert on this, but the Northeast Lions are right here. You have an overhead view of it, and we have just like to highlight how much parkland we have in this small little mile area. We have overabundance of parkland. You include 12th Avenue. You got Griffin and Sutton over there to your left, High Meadows, which is the neighborhood park for the High Meadows addition over there. And you even have a little bit of the Greenbelt that is kind of highlighted there on your bottom right-hand corner. These red areas are going to be what we primarily focused in on. But first of all, I'd like to point out we do have an older playground right there in the middle of Northeast Lions. It's that yellow box. And as you can see, it is smack dab in the middle of the park. And like I said, it does not have a whole lot of visibility for it. And that park or that playground location is highly vandalized. So we did come up with the idea, and this is kind of zooming a little bit closer in, talking like it would be great if we can somehow put the playground for Northeast Lions right there in that High Meadows area. That red square, when you're looking at that north side of High Meadows, is actually owned by Norman Public Schools. Cool fact of the day, we mow that for Norman Public Schools. So it's not like we're going to inherit extra maintenance. Then you look at your left side right there at 12th Avenue Rec Center. There's that parking lot that's highlighted with the X's or kind of the cross pattern. That is 12th Avenue or property connecting to 12th Avenue, also parkland. Ironically, that little square right there, if you go back and hop in a time machine about 6 or 7 years ago, that used to be Norman Public School land, and we exchanged that for that little area of property for the tennis courts at both Whittier and Irving. So that is what we're kind of focusing on. When we actually got reached out to by Justin Milner. They are running out of parking there at Eisenhower, so they like to expand their parking lot. That is the section of land that we kind of identified as partial exchange. And once again, we would like the northern end of High Meadows. And the idea would be to connect High Meadows to Lions Northeast and make that all Lions Northeast property or a park. And then we would put the playground, move that playground from the yellow box to more of a street view there towards the bottom. Want to kind of, before we hop into this, part of our 2009 Park Master Plan did identify 12th Avenue as a potential area or a potential center to build a new rec center or a renovated rec center eventually. So you're probably asking, why the heck are you showing me Willa D. Johnson Rec Center? So this is the brand newest rec center in Oklahoma City, and I'm going to show this. It's about 34,000 square feet, and we want to make sure that if we gave away some of the 12th Avenue property, that we would still have potential to build a rec center there in the future if that does pop on a Norman Ford initiative. So we contacted the architect that did the Willa D. Johnson. They actually also did the Young Family Athletic Center. So they made this little box right here on your left-hand side. That's actually the north side. Kind of turned it so it fit better into the screen. So if you were to superimpose that right there onto that, and it doesn't mean that that would be the design. You can turn it, you can put the parking lot in front, you can put the parking lot back. Doesn't really matter. But that is a 34,000 square foot building currently on the 12th Avenue property. So you see, even if we did give away some of that property or exchange some of that property with Norman Public Schools, we would still have room to potentially build a center in the future if that becomes the desire of the community. Now we move on to Woodlawn Park. Our main focus is right here. You can kind of see how it is split into two. This is one of our mid-70s build parks. It's kind of a weird split where we do have two different sections to it. But what we're kind of focusing on is that area there at the bottom that has a lot 31B. That's kind of what our surveyor described it as when we sent it to him. As you focus a little bit more onto this, you kind of see that the school already built a playground, and it was partial on our property, so it kind of makes sense to go ahead and give them everything, give them that property that the playground's on it, because technically that is theirs to maintain. The only thing that you kind of see there that's probably a little bit additional to it, we do have a little bit of a shelter, which would be also given to them. And we also like to highlight too, the main drainage portion of this is somewhere over here. So the schools would also probably end up maintaining the drainage system, which we recently repaired for them before they built this playground, to make sure that that area drains properly in high rains. That's typically that area was swamping before they built that playground. So to kind of go over complete synopsis of this, the exchange proposal from the Parks Department would be the city received 2.502 acres in High Meadows. We would like to eventually kind of decommission High Meadows and bring that into Northeast Lions, that property into Northeast Lions Park. And in exchange, we would give Norman Public Schools about 0.87 acres in exchange for that property. So we'll have to answer any questions that we might have for it.
Yes, sir.
Pickleball courts at 12th Street Rec will stay?
Yeah, that will stay part of our property.
We're not gonna move them at all, or?
I would say that the possibility of never is a long time. We don't know necessarily if this is recognized as a future Norman Ford project. Maybe there could be some rearranging or more fluent thing, but for the foreseeable future, they would be there.
It would be nice to move it south in between the new parking lot and the building.
Yeah.
To get so those neighbors that have some more buffer between them.
But I think that would be a natural design possibility if we had if that came up in the future.
Councilmember Holman?
So will the new playground with the existing parking lot for Northeast Lions Park have a path that connects from that parking lot to the new playground?
Yes. And we probably can work to make so you kind of see over there, the parking lot, my mouse is not working, but right over here in this area, yes, thank you, Councilmember Dixon. We do have a walking path that it goes in between that tree line. I probably need to go over there and make sure that maybe there could be a shorter path. Depends on the species of those trees over there. There could be some invasive trees over there we could probably remove to make a pathway a little bit shorter from the parking lot.
And the bridge would remain there, connecting that little peninsula there?
Yes.
So Northeast Lions was one of my favorite parks as a kid because of the playground before the current one had like two bridges that were like that, and it was kind of like I don't know. We took Nerf guns out there, and it was a lot of fun. But it was really cool to park and then run across that bridge, and the playground was there, and it was kind of neat. So, but everything else, the playground will move, but like the dock there and the bridge, everything will remain.
Yes.
Maybe a path that continues on and connects back to the new playground,
So
something like that.
exactly. None of that would exchange. And two, if you look at this, technically our boundaries of Northeast Lions Park is all within that green box. You kind of look there towards the left. That at some point in time, we did inherit that piece of property from the neighborhood. We have never officially kind of brought that into Northeast Lions Park, but we're kind of talking about, especially when we got there and we started Norman Forward funding, there's a little bit of a fence there. We're talking about possibly removing that fence and getting that portion that's right up there against Bruin Drive as part of the park and kind of leave that as a natural area. So Northeast Lions Park has a chance to definitely expand its footprint as we start doing this Norman Forward project there over the next year.
And that's the only lake or park that we have fishing in, right?
No, we actually have fishing at quite a few parks. We have Sutton Wilderness, Griffin, Highland Village. This one we have Hall Park, and there is one other. It's not coming to me, but we have about 6. But this is one of the ones that's we only have 3 that's designated as close to home fishing, and this is one of those.
How deep is that, Mr. Olson? Do we have a clue?
Oh, we've actually talked about that a few times, but right in the middle, I think it's about 12 to 15 feet.
So it'll stay cool enough to actually keep the
Yeah.
fish alive.
And our local fisherman, Rick, he loves it when we go out there and stock it and we also have, when wildlife goes out there and does that, they'll put some food in their feeder so you keep the new fish. He actually bribes me a few times so he'll know the exact dates of when the pond is getting stocked.
didn't know that.
You can't deny that.
I'd have done the same thing. I got it right.
No evidence. So.
Any further questions from council or comments? Well, what's your pleasure? Would you like to move it along? Anybody disagree? Looks like that's a go.
Excellent. So we've got recent documentation on the ability to exchange property with Norman Public Schools, and you'll see that as an action item in the not too distant future.
Yeah,
Exciting.
I think our first thing, we'll now that y'all have given us the thumbs up, we'll present it to Park Board and then we already have everything surveyed, and we'll definitely have it to you probably within 30 to 45 days to approve, hopefully.
And Rick, that's primarily done by legal description, just because they may not be separate parcels.
Yes.
Excellent.
All right, well, item 2, consideration of adjourning into executive session to discuss the potential purchase of real property, AKA Griffin Soccer Park and Sutton Urban Wilderness. Do I have a motion to move into executive session?
So moved.